Hi guys, my name is Dylan and today we are back to another Walk episode and now we're in Taman Desa. Let's go! See the PNB behind, wow! Okay, so before we start looking into Taman Desa, right, let's look at the map first. Okay, so Taman Desa, it's this red color circle and it's actually surrounded by multiple highways. Okay, so this is actually Old Klang Road, right? This is actually Federal, right? Federal, then you can go using Smart Tunnel or go to PJ South, all right? And this will then be Kuchai Lama, this one, Kuchai Lama's highway. So you can go using this to MRR2, right? So overall, this Taman Desa is surrounded by multiple highways, and then if you notice, it's actually a lot of landed properties over here. There are a lot of landed properties over here, where these landed properties, especially this one, I saw online, it says that it's a very good feng shui place where it gives out a lot of positive energy, a lot of good vibes. That's why a lot of rich people are staying here, okay? And then down here will then be some of the normal landed houses, and right beside here will then be some commercial elements. So this, just looking from the map, we can know that the commercial elements in Taman Desa is relatively low compared to Kuchai Lama or Sri Petaling that we just visited. Okay, right beside here will then be the infamous Desa Water Park, which has been closed down and now it's a sewage lah, if not mistaken. And right above will then be Mid Valley, which is here. This is the Mid Valley. So in terms of commercial elements, I think inside Taman Desa is not that a lot, but we can check out later. Let's go. Okay guys, so now we are in the first part of Taman Desa that it's more condo oriented, and it's actually at, there are a few condos called the Address 1, Address 2, and it's at the outer ring of Taman Desa. So Taman Desa is actually situated between, I would say between Mid Valley and Old Klang Road and Seputeh. So it's like really all highways just covering it. So this is a very standard concept where you can see, right, because overall Taman Desa is a very landed oriented location. So I believe this condo is still very new, the Address 1 and Address 2. So it's a very different concept in a sense that compared to, later that we'll be visiting the landed over there, overall the condos here are still very new, and I believe the view will be definitely very pretty because it's all landed properties and you can either have a look at KL view or you can look at the Taman Desa view, which is, or you can look at the landed properties, the spiral part of Taman Desa. It's really very interesting to just stay around in this area. So far, even though it's the first part that I'm visiting, but I'm just liking these vibes. I don't know, but it really gives people the feeling of very exclusivity, where if you turn up from that main road over there, that's the main road, right? The Taman Desa main road. If you go straight down, then you'll be reaching Mid Valley. But if you turn up onto this this way, that you have a lot of foliage, a lot of trees, right? Wow, it's such a luxury to stay over here, man. Really, really nice. I really like it, this area. Okay, even though I'm walking along this road, right, and it leads me to nowhere actually. This road is going to the highway, the main road, but it's just very pleasant. Just imagine, right, if you stay in one of these condo, okay, you come down here, and just jog around this area. Wow, I tell you, it's definitely leg day, man. It's definitely leg day in Taman Desa. Okay, one thing to take note, there is Sekolah Kebangsaan here, so which means I believe there are few schools over here. I'm not too sure if it's this one is actually primary school, but the other ones that are that I look at the Google map on the other side, I think it's secondary school or primary school as well. So then you have to take note, if you were to stay here during school picking up, or the parents come and pick up their kid or to send their kids to school, is very important as well, because then there will definitely be traffic jam, because now it's Saturday and we don't have students. But I'm very curious during weekdays. So for those of you all who wants to stay in Taman Desa, this part of Taman Desa, do take note of the schools over here. So then this is the road that leads us to Mid Valley, and go there is going to Cheras lah, that location. If you go straight down is Mid Valley, and then using Federal Highway we'll be reaching PJ Bangsa South. And I believe this plot of land, there are a lot of condos that is surrounding over there. I'm not too sure if you can see. It's actually Desa Water Park. So for those of y'all who don't know Desa Water Park, right? Desa Water Park was once a very famous like water park, but then it's closed already due to the inactivity of the business. And then now I heard it's taken over by one very big developer, and currently it's like a sewage, if not mistaken. It has become a sewage. So then everyone who is buying the condo that is facing over there, then they can actually see the so-called lake view or the water retention pond view lah. So for now it's that, but I heard there will be more condos coming up as well there. So it's very interesting to see such a very landed oriented location having so many condos popping up. So, and it also shows that a lot of people are actually interested in Taman Desa. And because this outer ring of Taman Desa is a very new place, so the pedestrian friendliness that we can see over here, it's very good because it is a proper walkway where you can walk from Desa 8, you can straight walk maybe to the SK school over there. But then if you were to walk to the commercial area that we will be visiting later, it will be quite far away. So this location then is suitable for people who wants privacy, really extreme privacy, but at the same time they want convenience to Mid Valley or to the highway. And I believe a lot of people will be taking advantage of Taman Desa in a sense where those who are in a jam, they want to go back to certain areas, they want to avoid Old Klang Road and Federal Highway, right? They will be using Taman Desa as one of the shortcuts to skip the jam in a sense. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's check out the other part of Taman Desa first. Let's go. Hi. How is Taman Desa?
Yeah?
What? Taman Desa nice?
Taman Desa, yeah, right.
Very nice?
One Desa restaurant.
One Desa. Okay.
Okay, nice.
Okay. The condo's guard is very friendly. So far, so good for Taman Desa. I like how friendly everyone is for now. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so early on we are at the Faber Towers. So Faber Tower is actually a rather old tower, but then inside all the commercial lots are quite occupied. Okay, and I realized one thing about Faber Tower and Faber Plaza. Faber Plaza is the shop lots that I just took. So Faber Tower and Faber Plaza, it's a very Japanese influence. There are a lot of Japanese influenced shop lots over there. Eateries, you have some of the groceries. All of these things are actually very Japanese influence, which I feel a bit strange because overall, if I'm not mistaken, there is no Japanese international school over here. So maybe for y'all who have insights can let me know, why are there so many Japanese influence team, food over here? So not forgetting to mention about their grocery, the market or the market lah. Okay. Inside the food is very different from how we see in NSK. NSK is just cheap, supplying, more like supplier pemborong style. But then here it's giving me something like a Jaya grocer vibes. But then the food over here is more niche, more inclines towards some overseas product. And from what I see, I'm not good at cooking, but I think the fish, the meat, the vegetables are very fresh. And it's around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. But then there are so many people just going for grocery shoppings over there. So it shows something lah. And one more thing, right? Just driving around Taman Desa, I realized that Taman Desa, it's a very residential, very own stay oriented place where it's so chill, a lot of landed properties and older apartments. So when townships like this happens, right, a lot of people want to stay in, and that's where developers will start trying to take advantage of it, which means they will be building more condos, newer launch condos, higher end properties over here. And I think this is what is happening in Taman Desa, where a lot of people who are staying in the landed houses are trying to upgrade to a better, bigger landed or nicer high-end condo, or those who are moving out from the apartment as well. Like we all thought like Taman Desa, it's very landed, but then you just look at the mountains of apartments and new service apartment coming up. So it's actually very interesting to see how it looks like in the future. Oh yeah, one more thing as well, right? If you notice, there are a lot, because it's a lot of landed houses like we see behind, but then they really do a lot, very strict control in terms of the entrance going in and out. Meaning to say, like for example, the one that is opposite of me, like you see over here, right? This one, this is actually a silap. So which means, right, they are controlling people who are entering or exiting their own residential place. So I think for a person who is more pro condo, like me personally, I like staying in condo. This solves one of the main issue because I feel that condo security is better. But then with this, they're trying to seal up all the roads and everything, the access. It actually solves one of my main concerns. So this is a very good action by the community around here. And just by walking up slope, right, it's already a late day for me. And then I realized that a lot of people are just trying to jog around this recreational park. And I feel that Taman Desa, being a very own stay location in a very center part of KL, because it's very near Mid Valley, it's really something very special. Because it's not easy to find, you're so close vicinity to KL city center, but then you still have such a landed in abundance. And in fact, I did take a photo or video of these landed houses being able to see KLCC, KL Tower and PMB 118. So it's very magnificent, to be honest. Nice. Yeah, as you can see, this behind is what I mentioned about Taman Desa. So it's very own stay place, and then when when people sort of like wants to move in but they don't have any choices, so they'll have to go for sub-sales. But then developers are knowing this, and that's why they are building a lot of newer condos. I think just within such a short period of 2 years, I think there are 2 to 3 new launches here, if not mistaken, do correct me. And then I think it's a very good sign because it means that more people are actually coming into Taman Desa. So from an investment standpoint, I know my property price is going up because the demand is there. But then from an own stay buyer perspective, it may not be that good because it means traffic. And I like how convenient it is. Like for example, if I'm staying in those landeds over there, I can take a walk, before I eat my dinner or after having my dinner, which is just over at Faber Plaza and Faber Towers. So this is something that I like, the convenience of just walking from here, and over there, behind there. So I think it's really convenient. It's like having a mixed development in a very landed oriented setting. Very interesting. Oh yeah, and there's one part of Taman Desa that I really like to visit, but it's I cannot visit because it's actually gated and guarded, which is the one at Google Map where you can see it's a spiral, a very organic form shape of the landed how they are building, right? It's a very oval one, and I'm really interested to go and see how is the roads over there, but I don't have access unfortunately. So then I can only go look from the drone view, which is really interesting, in terms of architectural standpoint and in terms of feng shui standpoint, because from what I know, that area is actually very zen and gives a lot of good energy, and that's what I heard of course. So unfortunately I cannot walk over there, but then let's check out the commercial areas now. Let's go. Okay, so now we are at the commercial part of Taman Desa, and then I took a few rounds only I managed to find a car park. So I was surprised that such a small Taman, right? We have such a bustling commercial area. It's really bustling in the sense that the car parks are just full. Just have a look. The cars are all full double park. It's a little bit like Sri Petaling. A little bit like Sri Petaling. So it's really all full, all jam-packed, and it's like 3:30 now in the evening, so it's so packed. But then in regards to the shops, right, we can see whatever shops that you want, you can think of, you can find here. You have multiples of eateries, you have some law firms, you have Thai food, then you have a dentist over there, you have clinics over there, so you have a massaging center over there. So it's like everything is just available in this area. It's so bustling. I was so shocked. I think this area kind of gives me the atas feeling, like because the food, right, and the cuisine over here, it's more westernized, more like some drinking places, whiskey bars, and you have some of the Thai foods, all the expensive things over here. So it kind of gives me this kind of vibes in Taman Desa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this is what the vibe is. Even though it's old, but old is gold. Yeah. So the pedestrian friendliness over here, I mean commercial shop lots, nothing much to complain. But then, actually I was trying to walk from the park area, the garden area, walking over here. And it's actually possible to walk, it's just that it's raining. So I would say the connectivity wise, right, in terms of from my house, I can take a short stroll at the park, then maybe I work at Faber Tower or have my gym over there at Faber Tower. Then I can even meet up with my friends over here. So it's like quite seamless. But of course, during hot weathers, then it will be quite hot because it's not really covered. But it's just a very walkable place in Taman Desa. And I believe most of them who are staying here, they're okay with walking. So yeah, I think it's very family-oriented place as well. So far so good for Taman Desa. Let's check out the other places. Let's go. Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention, right? Because landed properties are here for some time, so those core locations like in the middle part of Taman Desa is all filled with landed properties, and then service apartment are in the later part of the story So when it's in the later part of the story, then it will only be either in those very pocket land size, less than an acre size land, or then it will be either further outside of Taman Desa, which is the first part that we visited in Taman Desa. So the first part then it's more in the outer ring where it's closer to Mid Valley, it's closer to all the highways, but the inner part then it's a very, very different story. The inner part then it's very community feeling, it's like you can sense that everyone, those who are living here, it's that, all jiran one, all the neighbor feeling. Yeah, very interesting Taman Desa. So finally the sun is out, yay! When I first came, it was raining. Just when I wanted to come down, it was raining. So now, all good. Nowadays, the weather is always like this. When you want to do something, it's gonna rain, and you wanted to go back, suddenly it's sunny again. Okay, so after going around Taman Desa, right, there are a few surprise elements, there are a few elements that I expected. Like surprise element is like the first part that I went to, where there is an outer ring. It's an outer ring of Taman Desa where it's a lot of condos over there. But then the exclusivity of the road, it's really just next level. I never thought it's such exclusive. Right? And then some elements that I expected, it's very landed oriented, very strong community feeling, which is true. So for now, let's talk about the 5 main points of Taman Desa. And the first main point will definitely be greenery components. So greenery components in Taman Desa, I think we don't really have to emphasize, like just looking from the video itself, right? Just trees and all of this, it's just easy to see that how much they emphasize on greeneries over here. So that's one very important thing. And then the second thing will then be office components. So office components then over here will be not so heavily focused on. Their main focus will be residential, but then of course they are the typical insurance company, law firms, accounting firms, property agency firms. All of these they have their branch office over here. It's very normal. But then if you're talking about MNCs over here, right, I don't think there is any, and I don't think there is a need for it as well, because you have Mid Valley right around the corner and Bangsar South as well. So I think office component then in Taman Desa, it's very minimal, but then it's not really important as well. And then the third thing will be connectivity. So same with Old Klang Road, Kuchai Lama, Sri Petaling, Bukit Jalil, right? Taman Desa belongs to Taman, where it's just surrounded by multiple highways. Like you have your Silk Highway, you have Federal Highway, you have Old Klang Road, then you have Kesas Highway, Max Highway, just within, I think, around 15 minutes drive of everything. So I think it's just so convenient, and like literally just now we're at the outer ring of Taman Desa, right? Just outside of this Taman Desa is already one highway, the Federal Highway, and NPE as well. So I think connectivity wise, it's kind of a no-brainer. So it's very good for Taman Desa. And then the fourth point will be pedestrian friendliness. I briefly mentioned in the video. I would say it's 8 out of 10, where the newer part, like the outer ring, is actually very good in terms of the pedestrian friendliness. But then, if we are talking about those in the core part of Taman Desa, the middle part, then it's still convenient, where you can walk from your landed house to the park, then to the Faber Towers, Faber Plaza, and then to the commercial area. It's walkable. It's just that the walkway is not really that wide for people to walk to. But there are still a lot of people just walking around that area. So I feel that for me, maybe as someone who is not staying over here, it's a bit not used to. But for those who are staying here for a long time, right, I think no issue. It's just a very nice place to walk as well, especially after this, after rain, right? Wow, it's so cooling, even though I'm sweating. So the last point will then be shopping mall component, where it's the last point that I normally look at. And shopping mall component, I believe in Taman Desa, in Taman Desa itself, right, we only have Faber Towers, okay, that's one thing. But then, just right beside us, then we already have Bangsa South, then we already have Mid Valley, which is like a mega mall, the gardens as well. And so I feel that if we are talking about just right inside Taman Desa, it's near to zero, right? It's basically zero, besides the market or the market, the grocery, and that's only it. But then for a mega mall, then it's actually just right around the corner lah. So I think not much of an issue. So to conclude, right, Taman Desa, I personally will give 5 out of 5, right? For the 5 components, I think they hit everything. So it's just a very nice place to upgrade to live in. It's so chill to just walk around this area. So I think that's all for this episode. It's a rather short one because it's raining and I didn't really get to walk a lot. But then I tried covering all the locations. So if you guys like this episode, do click like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!